In the start, a man senses his power while holding his hand on the locker. Within 30 seconds, he succeeds in opening even the most difficult locker. What was his secret? Now the flashback is shown. A man named Ludwig appears on the scene, capturing his video on his laptop. In it, he states, "Today, I'm going to tell you a remarkable story. There used to be a man who worked on the lockers. Unfortunately, his entire family died. He made 4 such lockers after that, which were called the world's toughest lockers. No one was able to open such lockers. That man was heartbroken over the loss of his family. As a result, he locks himself up in a locker. And several people struggled to open that locker, but no one succeeded. Then, he died in the same locker. Finally, the locker was declared his coffin and washed out to sea. But those 3 lockers still remained. Where are those lockers? Who possessed it? No one knows about it." Ludwig concludes his video by telling this story. He then uploads the video to YouTube. After that, he closes his eyes and opens the locked locker that he had placed aside in just a few seconds. He was actually learning how to unlock the difficult lockers. He had also been successful in unlocking the hard lockers to a large extent. Ludwig videos had no views or likes. This made him unhappy and upset. Then Ludwig travels to his bank where he was working. Here a lady shouts at him saying, "I come here regularly, yet my work is not done. Now it must be done today." Then Ludwig hears the news. The zombie infection has spread throughout the city, which has infected a number of people. That lady had now begun to resemble a zombie to Ludwig. As a result, he fearfully delivers her the check. Then she left the office. It is noticed here that women are keeping an eye on Ludwig. When Ludwig arrives at the bank, he checks his YouTube channel once again. In addition, there was 1 view and 1 comment. It was mentioned, "If you wish to show off your talent, come to the specified location. When you get there, speak the password." Ludwig feels delighted when he sees it. He immediately leaves for that place. Reaching there, he reveals the password to the guard. The guard, knowing the password, then leads him inside. There had been a competition going on there. Whoever unlocks the locker first will be declared the winner. It means that he will win. Round 1 gets underway. Everyone opens their lockers. Ludwig takes 4th position in this. After that, there is a semi-final round. The top 4 people took part. Furthermore, 2 individuals will be able to compete in the final. Ludwig is placed 2nd in the semi-finals. The public was also betting on the players. The final round begins immediately after this, in which a very tough locker is required to open. With the start of time, another participant begins to unlock the locker. Ludwig, on the other hand, was motionless. He wasn't opening the locker. Instead, he was taking a look around. When only 30 seconds remain, first of all by keeping his hand on the locker, he senses it. He then succeeded in unlocking the locker in a matter of seconds. Everyone is astonished when they see it. His opponent, on the other hand, gets angry. As he approaches Ludwig, the guard quickly grabs him and pulls him out. Then he views a girl named Gwendoline. When he sees her, he likes her. Gwendoline is, in fact, a thief. And she is the same girl who was observing Ludwig in the bank. When Ludwig returns home, he places the awarded trophy near his parents' photo frame. The next day, while Ludwig is having coffee in a restaurant, Gwendoline arrives from behind, and Ludwig's coffee is dropped over him as a result of her unexpected presence. Ludwig, on the other hand, is delighted to see her there. Gwendoline tells Ludwig, "I had commented on your video, so that I may know your talent." She also told him that I am wanted by the police of many countries. Hearing it, Ludwig feels a little afraid. Then Gwendoline says, "I have a little task for you. We will steal globally, in which we must unlock the old man's 3 lockers." Gwendoline said those lockers contain a lot of cash. Ludwig is excited. He'd always wanted to open those hard lockers. And Gwendoline says, "We have other members as well, and we will steal together." She then walks away, handing him her business card. Ludwig thinks for a long time after coming home. Then he decides to help Gwendoline. The following morning, he goes to Gwendoline's residence. There Gwendoline introduces him to other members. A girl hacker named Karina. The second one was an expert driver, and the third one was strong since he was a muscular man. Then Ludwig asks, "Will we all 5 steal? And will be concealed elsewhere?" Then Gwendoline replies, "Yes, there is a similar strategy." Ludwig says it cannot be carried out because the police will begin to suspect us. Gwendoline assures him, "Because we are a group of 5, the police are unlikely to suspect us anytime soon." Karina is now telling everyone about those 3 lockers. The first locker is in Paris and is the simplest to unlock, because there isn't a lot of security. The second locker is in Prague, and it is more difficult to unlock. The third locker is in Switzerland, and it is the most difficult to unlock. And there are at least $100 million in it. Then Karina tells about the man who owned 3 lockers. After that, they travel to Paris, where they send Ludwig to the bank and explain all plans. Here, Ludwig enters the bank, where he was so scared, and hides in the toilet, as planned. Then, Gwendoline appears and takes the guard's key while asking him to hold her bag. When she enters, she asks the receptionist to take her to her locker, which had been made for her under a false identity. Then she leaves Gwendoline near the locker. After that, Karina enters who say things to distract people. I've lost my credit card. She, on the other hand, brings Ludwig inside that locker after getting him from the toilet via lift. Ludwig is extremely excited. Doing some warm-up and stretches, he begins to tell this locker's story to Gwendoline. Then Gwendoline requests him, unlock the lock first. After this, Ludwig tries to open a locker while playing music. In this locker, there were 3 locks. And by hearing it, he is able to unlock the first lock. He likewise managed in opening the other 2 locks. Following that, he unlocks the locker and opens the door. They are excited, viewing a lot of money on it, because they succeeded to open that first locker of man. Then they start filling the bags with locker money. Gwendoline says to him, just wait and watch. It is just the beginning. 2 more lockers left. Other lockers have more cash. After their work, that muscular man comes inside. He distracts the other people. Getting a chance, Ludwig and Gwendoline come out. They exit, get in the van and leave. They're also excited. Officer learns about their theft. Because Gwendoline and that muscular man were caught on CCTV. They have stolen before 5 years, admits the senior cop. They escaped while I was about to arrest them. I think that there is one more member in their gang. They may be going to Prague, so they steal the money from another locker. But I am not going to leave them. They are celebrating after stealing the first locker. After this, Ludwig comes to Gwendoline's room, where Gwendoline tells him that my parents were so rich. But they did not give me much attention. I met them from that time and became a thief. Because of their conversation, the bodybuilder felt jealous. He liked Gwendoline. The next day, they go to Prague, where they reach a bank with another locker inside. Karina says this bank is very advanced, so we'll have to be careful. Ludwig is scared by it. On the other side, that senior officer was also keeping an eye on the bank, so he may capture them as they come to steal. Gwendoline explains Ludwig and encourages him. After this, Ludwig goes inside the bank, where he moves forward with the fake identity given by Karina. Karina was also instructing him. Ludwig notices 2 doors as he moves forward. He moves to the left-sided door, and he goes near that locker through an elevator. But the observer guards of CCTV cameras begin to suspect him, because he did not come after entering through the door. Afterwards, Ludwig comes near a locked door. Karina asks him to pretend to move his finger like a key, so no one may suspect them. At that time, Karina unlocks that door while hacking. After this, Gwendoline meets with Ludwig. Then they both approach the locker through the elevator. Guards attack them at the same moment, but Gwendoline makes the guards unconscious through her power. Ludwig is very shocked, seeing the boldness of Gwendoline. Guards also come to know through CCTV cameras that the door's lock has been unlocked through hacking, so they close all the doors. Then Karina asks that muscular man to use the second plan. At that time, that muscular man enters the bank, masking himself, and he threatens the receptionist to fill the bag with all money, pointing a gun and asking everyone to stand aside. On the other side, that officer does not find something wrong anywhere, so he suspects that there's something to happen. He enters that bank along with his officers, where he comes to know that locker has been shifted to somewhere else. Hearing it, that officer has got furious. He quickly goes to that branch with his team. Contrarily, when Ludwig is unlocking the other locker, something went wrong. Due to this, all other locks were pressed inside. Then Ludwig tells Gwendoline that any mistake will permanently lock this locker. Then he tries to open the locker again. He succeeds to unlock 3 locks one by one. Finally, that locker's door opens. They both get excited. Meanwhile, Karina tells her muscular partner, "We've done it. You may come now." At that time, guards appear there to capture a muscular man, and he receives a gunshot on his shoulder while escaping. So he directly comes to the van while jumping through the window. The people also begin to leave the bank when that muscular man comes out of the bank. Getting a chance, Ludwig and Gwendoline also come out of the bank, and they rush to the van. Then Ludwig throws his bag in the van. Initially, that muscular makes Gwendoline sit in the van. As he was going to grab Ludwig to put him in the van, he realizes that if he stays with us, he will take Gwendoline. As a result, he kicks him out of the van. Seeing it, all are shocked, but that van had also driven from there at that time. Police start to chase Ludwig unluckily, so he begins to run away, stealing a bicycle from there. After this, that officer also reaches that bank. He discovers that another locker has also been robbed. Furthermore, there is no evidence on CCTV. It is empty. Hearing it, that officer loses his temper. On the other side, Ludwig gets on a train while diverting the police's attention. Gwendoline, on the other hand, asks the muscular man, "Why did you act like that? What was the point of throwing Ludwig out of the van?" "We might be trapped if I don't do this," adds the muscular man. Therefore, we don't feel the need for Ludwig because we have so much money that we no longer need to steal the last locker. Gwendoline makes it clear I'm not in it for the money. Frustrated, she exits the van. Karina joins her. Muscular man sees them and says, "Go away. I don't need you." Ludwig reaches his home where Gwendoline and Karina are already there. And they make Ludwig afraid while surprising him. Ludwig says to them in fury, "What are you doing here? Go away." Then Gwendoline explains to him that, "Our partner that muscular man wanted to be on this mission for money. I am not doing it for money. I am rather doing it to make my name in history. We can't open the third locker without you." Then Ludwig says after being agreed with them, that I am also willing to end my excitement after unlocking it. Hearing it, they both begin to laugh. On the other side, the officer gets the video of Ludwig on YouTube. He says after calling his assistant that they have hired this boy for this to unlock lockers. But he is an ordinary man with no criminal record. And then they throw him out of the van after their work is done. Now he is perhaps afraid. We may now catch him. And we may catch others after. In this way, we may reach their mastermind. They go to Switzerland for the third locker, where that officer already reached the gambling club, because of the third locker in this gambling club. At the same time, an officer gets the signal by Karina, who says that we will move to the gambling club at 5 o'clock. So he waits. As the clock strikes 5, he says to the manager, coming to the gambling club, that locker is in danger. The manager says on it that, "We know. It was you who told us." Hearing it, that officer is surprised. That manager tells them that we had received a call on your part before 8 hours. That locker is going to be grabbed. So we have shifted that locker into another branch. After this, the movie moves to the time 8 hours ago, where Karina had said while calling to the manager, that locker is going to be grabbed. Then the manager called the guards, so that she may shift the locker into another branch. Gwendoline gets in that van, and she hits both guards, making them unconscious. After this, Ludwig goes with her to that gambling club, wearing the guard's uniform. And they begin to drive off, keeping the locker in the car. After it, the movie turns to the present scene where that officer is again irritated. And he moves away along with his officers for their search. On the other side, that muscular man and his companion are also present out of that gambling club, who had come to take their share for stealing the other locker. At the same time, he knows the location of Gwendoline, that he is not here. Here, Karina get to know, that their partner muscular man is going behind Gwendoline, because she was near that gambling club at that time. So Karina decided to stop them, but his both companions escape from there till that time. Unfortunately, that officer catches Karina, but she messages Gwendoline at the exact time that, muscular man and our partner are also coming after you. Karina breaks her mobile after sending the message. That officer asks her while pressuring, "Tell me, where are your other companions?" Then his assistant asks Karina, stopping her, "We promise in return that we will always take care of your brother." Actually, Karina has much affection for her brother. There will be no one to take care of her brother after her if she is imprisoned. So she accepts their offer. Then she has to take them to Gwendoline. Gwendoline is driving and Ludwig is trying to open the locker inside the cart. This locker had 7 locks and was tough to open. After this, Ludwig plays the music and tries to unlock those locks, from which he is able to open the 6 locks. Suddenly, a turn appears on the way and Gwendoline tuns the car forcefully. As a result, Ludwig falls down, but he has succeeded to unlock the 7th lock after a struggle. He becomes successful to open the locker after unlocking all locks. They were so delighted afterwards that there was no place for their happiness, because they were successful in unlocking the 3 lockers. Following that, they begin to fill the bag with money while stopping the car in a safe location. The muscular man and the driver then arrive to receive their share. The muscular man approaches them and demands money while pointing a gun at them. However, Gwendoline totally refuses it. As a result, he fires his gun at Ludwig. He didn't have a single bullet in his gun, though. Gwendoline then says to him, pointing a gun at him, "I already had no trust in you, therefore I didn't load your gun with bullets." Then she ties them both with a car and takes their car. After they've left, the officer also arrives there, and he manages to capture the muscular man as well as the driver. Ludwig and Gwendoline, on the other scene, reach the boat while running. That officer also reaches there before they flee, who asks them to surrender while pointing a gun at them. However, Gwendoline also points a gun at him, and he tries to persuade that officer, fostering a lust for money. The officer then replies, while refusing to accept the deal, that he has been chasing all of you for the last 5 years in order to arrest you. So capturing you will be my great success. Gwendoline tells him, "Okay. I hand myself over to you. But you should really leave Ludwig because he is innocent. He is not a criminal." The officer then agrees with Gwendoline, but Ludwig refuses to leave Gwendoline alone. Then Gwendoline tells him, "Go away right now. And when I get out of jail, I'll come straight to you." Having been convinced, Ludwig leaves after getting inside the boat. That officer, on the other hand, seizes Gwendoline. Ludwig also receives a passport. Gwendoline had created a different passport for each of them. Then, seeing it, Ludwig begins to recall all of the times he spent with Gwendoline. Following that, the scene shifts from here to California. Ludwig had opened a store called Gwendoline Sales. Meanwhile, two people arrive to meet Ludwig. They also have a locker map. They request to Ludwig, "Can you unlock this locker?" Ludwig says happily upon seeing them, "Yes. I can unlock it." The movie ends at this moment, with a puzzling climax. If you like our video, please like and comment. Take care until the next video.